Thanks for tuning back in. We are live here at the Navigate Credit Broadcast Center with our second guest, Joe Stracuzzi from the Rooftop at Providence G. Joe, thank you so much for coming in today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Absolutely. So the Rooftop at Providence G has got to be one of the hottest spots in Providence. It is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful space. But before we get started talking about it, I'd love to hear about yourself, what your role is, and some of your past experiences.
Sure. Basically, I've been there since day one. I did a start in the G Pub, and then we opened the Rooftop, and then we've had other ventures in the building. We've done a great wedding program there. We have banquets, so it's really, I always call it a big city building in a small city. So they've really put a lot into it, and that's thanks to the Jeffrey family. You know, Vince and Colin are very hands-on and played a big role in it. So I've worked there since pretty much day one, and kind of have made a progression towards bartending and then doing some bar management, helping out with banquets, and now as of the new year, I'll be out on the floor, out from behind the bar.
Behind the bar on the other side.
Yeah, I'll miss it, but yeah. So it's been great, and like you said, absolutely one of the featured spots of the city. Even though it's winter time now, we have fire pits, we have industrial heating. It's very warm up there. Most of our staff is still in short sleeves even. So please, the only stipulation being that during the winter hours right now, we're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays. But
Mondays and Tuesdays, reasonably so. Rest of the week, nice and busy. Weekend, I'm sure, is crazy.
It is, yeah. It stays pretty strong, and we will be mixing in some events on those days that we're closed, so it won't be stagnant. But that's what we'll go with until the weather breaks in the springtime, and then, you couldn't ask for a better place in the city or just in general. We've done some launches there for some bigger products, and we're doing some more things like that as well. But it's just a great place all the time. Yeah, we have a lot to offer.
Yes, so you have the Rooftop, there's the pub, there's multiple spaces in that one building, and you're able to do weddings, events, all of that as well. So there's huge capabilities just coming out of this one company. So it's really, really huge.
I mean, the epitome being having a wedding where you can have the ceremony and the cocktail hour up on the rooftop, and then you can slide down into our gorgeous ballroom, which is actually adjacent to this space right here.
I could look right in right now.
Beautiful marble, high vaulted ceiling, chandeliers. So, and then if there's a late night and you slide down to the G Pub, so you have like one-stop wedding shop.
You don't even have to leave. It's all right there for you. What more could you ask for?
Exactly, and we have a wonderful person that runs the program. Her name is Rebecca Miller.
She does a great job.
Yeah. She does do a great job. They have a bridal suite, so that's that sums up pretty much what we have up there. But we'll be doing some new stuff come springtime. Chef Ryan and myself and the ownership are designing some new menu options and slightly changing the style of how we do things up there in some positive ways. So I encourage everyone.
Change is good.
Yeah, we'll get you up there. You make sure you're one of the first ones.
Absolutely, I'd love to be one of the first ones to see it. So now you're coming out from behind the bar. You're on the floor, but you are no stranger to being on the other side of the bar. Where were you before? What kind of cocktails do you love making on the Rooftop, or did you like to make?
To speak on the bartending end of it, like I've really enjoyed the business and intend on having something of my own at some point. So it's been important to me to always try new things. So I have bounced around to a lot of places. I'm very blessed that people will have me in the capacity of 1 or 2 nights a week. So I've worked a lot of places in Providence. Enjoyed it quite a bit. I like the diversity of that. So now I guess, putting that all together and having that to lean on while being on the other side of the bar will certainly be a benefit. I was a beverage manager at Ledgemont Country Club for just under 5 years. I've managed other places, but I really enjoy the bartending aspect. But although it's only been a week since I started this new gig, I actually have been enjoying it pretty thoroughly, even though it's a heavy workload.
Very different, but still the same company.
I feel totally comfortable being out from behind the bar.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's I'm sure you'll miss some aspects of it, but also a relief to be able to be in a new pair of shoes. Yeah,
it's nice, and honestly, the appreciation that I have for even being offered that kind of position. Just is humbling, and I plan on doing as much as I can with it and putting as much as I can into it. So.
Definitely. Well, I think that you're probably at one of the most popular places in Providence, I have to say, and for good reason, because the view is absolutely unbeatable. I swear it feels like the whole city skyline is right in your face. It is just gorgeous.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We have 2 terraces to view it through, and we're actually going to be doing some enhancements in the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
On your side here, where you can see the Point Street Bridge. You can sit, and you're basically having cocktails during cocktail hour under, the skyline, the Superman
Yeah.
building, the Point Street Bridge. So we're looking forward to expanding and elevating some of the services that we've had up there even further. So it's exciting.
And the services up there are absolutely phenomenal. You have your full bar, lounge seating, and like you said, the fire pits. I absolutely adore those because in these cold winter months, you're able to kind of cozy up with a blanket right next to this beautiful, like, blazing fire. So
Yeah.
how many do they seat? And
Well, that's part of the changes that we're making. They're subtle. It's not anything big construction, but we do have 4 fire pits now. What we're going to install is basically a private bar that we will also utilize for cocktail hours
Wow.
in this corner here. So you'll have an awning should it be a light sprinkle or just unbearably, beating down with the sun.
so you can still be outside.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that will translate into nighttime service as that will be our top lounge where you can have private bartenders for your
Okay.
party, and it can
And
expand
how
all the way
many
down
do
for
you
the
think
fire
that
pits.
it will accommodate?
We can accommodate, depending on the needs of the guests. I mean, if we just look at the one section, you're probably talking about 40 people. But if they
Wow,
wanted to
that's a
have the
lot.
second fire pit or the third fire pit down, we
Just
just
get them all.
move the ropes down and they can have it all down the side.
Okay, so that's probably going to open up a lot of things for you. So for someone who may not be able to, let's say, rent out the whole rooftop
Yeah.
for an event, it would be far more reasonable to be able to reserve a private section.
Absolutely.
And, let's say we want to throw in an extra fire pit because, we have a little bit more larger party. It's kind of perfect.
And it is suitable to just about anything. It's a little upscale in environment, but we keep it pretty casual. There's going to be different levels of service there, so you'll be totally comfortable just coming as a group and checking out the bar, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll see the lounges and want that for next time, or have an idea for a birthday party or a particular event that you may want to take up a little more space for, and that goes through Rebecca as well. So any parties that book,
So she handles that.
she'll handle that, and she works with everybody's needs. She's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the menu. What kind of food are we eating up on the rooftop?
So that is actually in flux at the moment.
Okay.
We are certainly still planning on keeping a high level of quality. We're also going to keep a lot of options open by having kind of a VIP menu, which we're still working on now. So those lounges that we're working on with the private bar.
Yeah.
If you had a fancy for Kobe beef or a large scale sushi platter, it would be more of a question of just letting Rebecca and us know ahead of time. We'll get it in. So it'd be more of like, pre-ordering in a sense for a party.
Preference. So
Right.
if I really want some sushi or, like you said, some Kobe beef, something a little bit fancier
Yes.
to really impress my guests, I can kind of let you know ahead of time, and you're able
Right.
to put it all together.
And at the same time, if you're up there on a whim, we will have very simple stuff. We're going to be gearing some more tapas style menus and simplifying it as more share plates and really taking advantage of our lounge spaces. But there will always be something for everyone, whatever your fancy might be for that particular night. If it's just a snack or you want to sit down, like, we should have a little something for everyone.
Absolutely. So what do we have here in front of us today?
So Chef put this together. This is on our menu right now. It's fantastic. This is a Creole pan-seared salmon. They house make the Caribbean dry rub and the Creole mustard.
Beautiful.
You have broccoli rabe puree and smashed fingerling potatoes with that.
Awesome. You know what? I love smashed potatoes. I know, you always think mashed potatoes are the best, but smashed potatoes, they're like crispy and like warm and soft on the inside.
And you smash them, they soak in some of the flavor right in
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. And I absolutely adore any kind of mustard, but Creole mustard has got to be my favorite, and it goes so very well with seafood. So I think
Yeah,
that this dish
perfect with
is
the salmon.
probably really, really lovely, and I think that all the flavors are going to really wind up being very nice together.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is something that we can find on the menu currently upstairs?
Yes, absolutely. And, it's certainly something that we'll most likely keep in the running since it is one of our featured dishes at the moment.
Well, I will
But yeah,
certainly hope it sticks around.
Yeah, I do too. That's my go-to. So.
Yeah, of course. So right now in our winter months, we've got a completely enclosed-in portion of the roof
Yes.
outside of those fire pits.
Yes.
So you can kind of come upstairs and still enjoy being that feeling of like being outside, like you're on the rooftop because you still have that incredible view, but you're nice and cozy inside.
Right, so you've been up there in the summer, and I'm
Yeah.
sure everyone's seen it in the nicer weather, and maybe people had questions about it, but essentially all the open door walls collapse in for the summertime, so now we have them stretched out, and they're winterized, and the roof is closed and it's winterized, so it's sealed tight. On a sunny day, it actually warms up on its own pretty good, and we have floor heating and industrial heaters, so it's really not a question of being cold.
Not a chill in the air up there.
It's actually kind of nice if there's a light flurry too.
Yeah, I was
You'd
going
be
to say,
surprised,
it's probably
like with the
beautiful
snow.
up there in the snow because you feel like you're kind of like in an igloo up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it's a nice
So
feature
right
for
on
sure.
the top of the city.
That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to come out and check out all the new changes that you've got working on. Do you have any idea when you're expecting these to be completed?
Yeah, we're utilizing the fact that we have a couple of days that we're shut during this dead of winter, and you know, a little bit of a slower season, although we're hoping to build as we go. But you know, come springtime, we should have everything in place. So we're looking.
Perfect timing for the summer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we should be gearing up for, you know, maybe beginning of April to have everything in place, and then we should be rolling right through the summer from there.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to come in and check out everything that you're working on. I'm sure you're putting a lot of effort in, and it's going to be very well worth it in the end.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, it's great. It feels good to have like a nice positive direction, and the support of everybody there is certainly been great too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
For those who may want to come into downtown, check out the Rooftop. They might be a little bit intimidated by parking. What's the parking situation looking like?
So it can be a little intimidating. We have free valet right at our garage.
Perfect.
So,
See?
you know.
Nothing to be intimidated
Not
about,
at all.
nothing to be scared off
Nope.
by. You can come right downtown, swoop right into the garage, valet takes your car,
Yep.
you go right up into the elevator and have a lovely
That's it.
evening.
It's right there. Yep,
Easy.
no problem. There's plenty of parking downtown, but if you use the valet, you walk right into the building. So,
Easy.
especially in these cold months, it's easy to slide right in there.
Right. Don't even have to take your jacket off.
No.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure.
I'm
Thanks for
glad
having
that you
me.
got to bring this delicious food, and we're really looking forward to coming upstairs and checking out all of the new changes that the Rooftop is undergoing.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for the time.
Of course, don't go anywhere. We have our next guest coming right up.